Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. We are here today with Jimmy Hatzell, who is um, I didn't ask you what your title is. I'm going to let you tell me, Jimmy.
I'm the Vice President of Revenue here at CyberQP.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I think CyberQT, for folks who don't know, you guys just went through a big branding. That's what the QP is at the end for Quick Pass. It used to be Quick Pass, and now we got CyberQP. What can you tell us about that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we were initially QuickPass when our co-founders, Jim and Mateo, started the company. The original product was just a password reset tool. It was users could, on their phone, self-service password reset. And it was a great name for that. It really described what we did. And then we added in password rotation too, and it still kind of worked. But now our product has evolved over the years, and we needed a new brand, a new identity that more accurately described what we did, and set us up to be more of a cybersecurity platform than just a single tool, which now is really just a part of one of our products. So that's what led the rebranding. I got to give credit to our CEO Mateo. It's all his vision on this. Wasn't me coming in with the new name or anything like that. He saw through the evolution of the company, and also him and Jim, the two co-founders, CEO, COO. They drive the product roadmap and saw where we were going, and we needed an identity to match that pretty much.
Okay, all right. So for those members who aren't familiar, did and I'm not familiar at all. So I'm going to use this opportunity to learn more about CyberQP and the original Quick Pass. So the original Quick Pass, you said basically, is it like an app?
Yeah, so I can just show you right on my phone. It's still there. You can still, like, we have hundreds of thousands of people using QuickPass still. Let me turn off my blur so you can see it. But I just go right on my phone, and I just did fingerprint scan to authenticate. You can use Face ID too.
Okay.
And now you can see my password is actually expired because I haven't been using this demo account. I just hit reset password. And then this password policy is actually all pulled in from AD. It's reversed on my screen. I don't know if it's reversed on you, but
no,
that's saying great. Number of characters, all that. Then I can go in and just type in my new password. And when I actually meet the policy, right, I think I need to add a symbol. The change password button will be there. And then press change password, and then it actually updates AD and Office 365. So it actually syncs up both of those systems without AD connector running. I can log in immediately. There's no waiting period, no syncing period. Nice. Quick pass, right?
So it's basically a self-service module to reset passwords for end users. So as a MSP, that cuts down on the calls that you get. Hey, I need to reset my password. Okay.
Yes, exactly. They can also do account unlocks. They get, type in the Monday morning, you mistype it, caps locks on, whatever, 5 times, account locked out. You can hit unlock in there. And then we also have an identity verification tool built in there too. So if a user calls into the help desk, it actually, Scott, we've been seeing a lot more problems more recently with the crazy outbreak of AI voice software. Where like pretty much anyone can make a voice actor voice online, and then with a little bit more work, like it's not super easy yet, but it's doable. Like we've had MSPs that have struggled with this. You can, like, people are actually taking in all the voice data, from someone like me or you who's on lots of podcasts and webinars, and then training it, just having a voice modulator. Like, I mean, it's
and then it reproduces that voice, and so someone could call in and you think it's actually your end user, but it's not.
Exactly. Gotcha. I mean, look at what's happening with all the celebrities. Like, lots of influencers and celebrities are like selling the rights or licensing the rights to their AI likeness. Like, that's how quickly it's sort of moving.
I hadn't heard that. So
yeah, dude,
tell me about
crazy.
that. So they're actually licensing their AI counterparts.
Yeah, and you know what? I think. Do you have this room? Oh, you know what? I just got kicked out of my my room here. I apologize, team. This is the struggle of co-working. Yeah, so will actually, and I'll walk and talk with you. People will actually license their AI likeness, like influencers and stuff, so people can use it online. Um, But anyway, we can do that, and we can do identity verification. Where you're getting a tour of my little office here too.
That's awesome. I love it. I was going to say, we'll just go with it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so somebody calls in, you can send them a push notification right to that same app on their phone. They can click accept. It'll get logged in their PSA or in our system.
Okay.
And if they don't have the phone installed, they can do the reset or do ID verification over SMS or email as well. So yeah, that's all part of our QDES product. We do have another product called QGuard that
Okay.
is it's a privileged access management tool.
Okay.
So with QGuard, you can basically, it automates the discovery, monitoring, and management of all of your privileged admin accounts across all your Windows environments.
Okay.
So basically, you deploy us out, and we'll find all of the admin accounts that are out there in the wild. It can be local admin accounts on end user machines. It can be domain admins on servers. It can be Azure tenant admins, right? And there can be service accounts on servers as well. And we'll actually pool them all into our dashboard. And in the dashboard, you can sort of see like I've had people who they run this, discover all the admin accounts, and there's like CEOs who have had admin accounts and their password hasn't been changed for 5 years, right? It's just sitting there waiting for like
just
a
a
hacker
ticking time bomb.
Exactly. So we pull all these in, and then we actually look in your documentation tools. We have a lot of integrations, by the way.
Okay.
We look in your documentation tool, IT Glue or Hoodoo or something like that, see if it exists. And people will do that matching exercise. They'll find all these admin accounts that they didn't even know about, especially with all the M&A happening in the industry. MSPs are buying MSPs, or MSPs are acquiring new customers, or customers that they're working with acquire other customers. Like there's a lot of like, I need to change all these admin accounts, and I need to like figure out where they're at. So we'll discover them all, and then we'll actually, you'll be able to disable the ones that aren't in use. And we can create documentation in IT Glue for the ones that aren't existing there already,
Okay.
and then we can manage them, right? So those discovery, monitoring, and management, manage them, automatically rotate the passwords for them as often as every day. So people will
Wow.
pull up our dashboard, right, and get it per client, per service accounts, or per admin accounts, where all the passwords everywhere, right? Local admins, break glass accounts, domain admins, changing daily, 99 character randomly generated passwords or passphrases if you have field technicians that need to read it and can't pull up the password or can't inject it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's part of that. And we have password technician, password vault in there, and all part of privileged access management, right?
Very nice. Very nice. So, can we go back and talk about the end user verification? Because that part is very intriguing to me. I like that because, you're right. It's just a matter of time before the AI takes over and starts replicating voices and cloning people's voices. And, I don't even know that a computer system would detect it's an AI versus a real voice.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah, so basically, when they call into the help desk, right, most MSPs are pulling up like ConnectWise or Autotask or whatever it is,
Right.
and basically we can actually pull the phone number and email, and actually in the PSA, or you can do it from our system, and we can send them a code either via SMS or email, or if they have the app installed, they're enrolled in our QuickPass app. It'll just be a push notification. They press accept on it, and then all of that gets logged in the PSA. So, I talk to a lot of MSPs, and they're like, I know my client's voice or whatever. Like that's okay. Like I get
Until
it.
it's AI generated.
Yeah, yeah. But also the important thing is to think about like what happens when the worst happens, right? Like if
Right.
if an investigator is coming in because a hack happened, right? And they see that your MSP changed the password for the hacked account, 1 week before, or 1 month before, or 2 months before, right? And you say, oh, I know my client's voice, right? I talked to them and I knew it was them. That ain't gonna fly, right? Like they're gonna be like, oh, really? You knew their voice, right? Like they're gonna ask more follow-up questions. Whereas if the answer is, I verified their identity, I sent them a code and they read it back to me, and it's all logged here in the ticket in the PSA, showing that whole interaction. They clicked it on the app or they read this code back. That is like, to an investigator, they're like, all right, maybe the credentials were taken a different way, or maybe it's not someone in your MSP who's doing something nefarious. And I'm not trying to go to like the extreme of things, but like,
Sure.
you really need to think about like, if the worst happens and people start asking you those questions, are you going to be covered, right? Did you do the things that you would need to do to show that you are not liable for a situation like this? And I'm not a lawyer or insurance agent or anything, but I could just speak on common sense. Like,
you play one on TV, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I totally get it though. That is one thing as an MSP owner myself that I haven't really put a lot of thought into it, but you're right, with the AI coming in, it's just a matter of time before it happens. And it's so nice, you could, as an MSP, the way I'm seeing it is you just enroll your clients in the app. Make sure all of them have it. If they want to call to the help desk, they better have the app. If they don't have the app, we can't help you. So you could implement a policy and procedure at the MSP level that said, hey, all of our when we onboard a client, we just onboard that app as well into the process. Just add it to your documentation and processes, all of your procedures in the beginning. So that makes a lot of sense to me, and I think that I give you props because you're ahead of the game. I don't know anybody else that is offering that technology, so that's great. That's great. So
Thank you. Yeah.
So, well, I was going to ask you a question about, how does CyberQP fit into the MSP's workload? But I think we kind of touched on that. So you could add it basically in your onboarding and use it at the help desk level. But you mentioned two other things. You mentioned the Q desk and the Q guard.
Yep.
So how do those both fit in?
Yeah, so Qdesk is going to be all the stuff for your end users, right? The self-service password reset.
Sure.
So that's one use case, right? Before they call in, cutting down tickets from happening, improving the security there. But also when you look at tier 1 and tier 0 work, right? Like, how much of the MSP business is like, hey, let me reset your password, let me unlock your account, let me do whatever. We actually do automations for all of that. So inside your PSA, or inside our app, you can click unlock account or send password reset, and do all the actions from there without actually having to remote into the AD server, clicking on the users and groups and whatever, like right click on the user, reset password. Like, you don't have to do all that. You can just do it right on the ticket in your PSA or right in our dashboard.
Nice.
So it saves a lot of tier 1 time. And we've actually had what we call like tier 0. So a lot of businesses, especially when they get to like the 6, 7 technician or like employee size, they'll have like an admin who's not from the tech space, who sort of handles inbound calls.
Okay.
With like our stuff's so easy to use that you can do identity verification, password reset, account unlock, all of that right from the PSA. So we talk to people who are already having an admin person with no tech background, routing calls when they call in and looking them up in their PSA. And now those people can do the tier 1 stuff. So it's like this tier 0, right? How do you make stuff so easy that anyone without a tech background can, easily log in and do it?
Awesome. Well, speaking of processes, what is the biggest pain point that CyberQP eliminates and alleviates for MSPs or IT business owners, for that matter?
Sure. So, well, on the Qdesk side of things, it's definitely, password resets and account unlocks. What if you're having a lot of them, what would it do for your business if you cut them down by 90%, right?
Oh, it would free up a lot of time
Yeah.
saver.
And then on the Q Guard, right, there's a lot of MSPs who have, the same password at all of the endpoints at specific clients, or the same password everywhere. And they've got former technicians who know that password and they just haven't gotten around to change them, right? So, we're giving peace of mind there, right? We're improving security, but when you think of pain, right, what are you up at night thinking about as an MSP owner, right? Like, oh, Joe left 6 months ago. He still knows all the passwords to all those accounts. I haven't changed them at all. And to actually change them manually, it's just impossible, right? Say you got 1,000 endpoints. That's 1,000 local admins. That's another 100 servers, right? That all have service accounts and they all have domain admins. What are you gonna mean? And then you got Office 365. You're gonna manually change them? No, you gotta script it, right? And you gotta
Yeah.
build a script. You gotta see if
I'll
they're
say that's a
online.
mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I
So
don't
what
have
button?
1,000 endpoints like that to worry about. So that's great. But that would be that would be a huge problem for any MSP or IT business owner. I didn't think about that really, but you're right. If the employee leaves and you don't go in, that's really a daunting task, especially if you've got a high number of turnover. Ugh. All right. Well, so I guess those are the pain points. So what about your recent product releases?
Sure. Yeah, we just released in preview mode. Should be GA pretty soon here.
Okay.
Our just-in-time account capabilities. So with this, so historically MSPs have used shared admins on servers and whatever. Like it's stored in ITGlue or somewhere,
Sure.
and it's the shared account, and everybody logs in and uses it. So um, insurers, government agencies, cyber fanatics generally want named admin accounts. They don't like shared admin accounts, right? We've been already mitigating that risk for a while by automatically rotating the passwords, all that. But what we've done is created enabled MSPs to use zero standing privilege. The concept of only having admin accounts active when they are in use and at the least amount of time, right? Zero standing privilege, no privileged accounts standing,
Okay.
by our just-in-time functionality. So MSPs can create named admin accounts on the fly that are disabled when not in use. So if you can think about that for workflow perspective, Scott, say you need to log in a server and set up backups for it or whatever, you need an admin account for that. Before this feature release, what you do is go grab the shared admin account and log in and do it. After this, what you do is you create a just-in-time account and would provision an admin account on that server for a set period of time, and you'd put in like exactly what you're doing, and then it would disable it when you're done with it.
Wow, that's great. So it takes away the vulnerability of having an admin account, an extra admin account that's active on that machine that could be compromised.
Exactly. So think about zero trust, right?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Like a nefarious application can't do much if it can't run, right?
Right.
Zero standing privilege. A hacker can't do much with an admin account that doesn't exist or that's not active.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense. And that is part of the Q guard, right?
Yes, we've
Okay.
rolled it out. It's in preview access right now, so just message me, your current customer, if you need access to it. I can get you set up in there. Should be GA in a
Okay.
week or two. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so that you've talked about the recent product releases, but what about what's on the roadmap moving forward for CyberQP?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of more additions to just-in-time accounts right now. That's what we're
Okay.
really focused on. So like right now, you can do it on Active Directory servers, but we're going to set it up very soon where you can do it on Azure AD
Okay.
inside the tenants, and then also local admins as well. So we, refining it, and we're getting a lot of feedback from our preview access right now. Trying to get things right with the first AD only release, and then spread it out everywhere after that. In addition, we
Nice.
have a couple heavily requested features that are getting close, such as being able to back up the passwords from password manager like ITGlue in our vault, and then more granular features and some of the existing stuff like better security groups and things like that that people have been requesting.
Okay. Well, I also hear that you've got an annual event coming up. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, yes, I can. We have our first event, run by the great Nadia, who put us together today. She's awesome. Um, Nadia Carrots Oreos. She is set up an academy. It's in July, the second week of July in Dallas, and we
Okay.
actually are partnering with CIS. It's called Fantastic Forum Academy, and what MSPs can go there and actually pre-evaluate the CIS controls and see where they need the most work. And we're going to
Okay.
take people through the different controls, give them the opportunity to workshop and create their own plan of how they're going to align to implementation group one or IG1. And then also CIS is going to come and show how MSPs can use their sample policies and get going without having to hire a consultant or whatever to come in. So I think there's going to be a lot of value. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a great golf course there. We're going to be doing some top shots. Um, uh, you know, driving range action too, and we'll have some fun. So definitely look us up, Fantastic Forum Academy. I'm really excited for the event.
And what are those dates again, Jimmy?
It is, I should know this off the top of my head, July 14th, I believe. I'll wait for let's see. Yep, there it is. July 17th and 18th. I was like, let me just say a date and then I'll get a Slack message correcting me.
That's
That's
awesome.
exactly what happened.
All right, all right. Well, it sounds like that you've got it down pat. Awesome. Well, Jimmy, what else do you want to share with me about the platform itself? Anything else that what are some of the reasons that you have come on board and joined CyberQP?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a great product. I really have a lot of faith in our product team. Like, if you look at our release cycle, like we're pumping multiple releases out every single month. Like we put things to production over and over and over again. There's actually more developers and QA engineers than I have on the marketing team, which is like not a lot of organizations in our space.
Okay.
So that's one of the main reasons I joined. I also just think like it's a lot of there's a lot more risk coming at the authentication level than there was before, right? Like first we saw at the
Yes.
network level, right? Like hackers would try to get at the network, right? Heavy focus on firewalls and all that. And then, as things progress, we move to like the endpoint is really the firewall, right? Like work from home, all that, less focus on firewalls and network security, more focus on endpoint security. And now, what we're seeing is the authentication level. So
Okay.
every single day, I mean, I hear when I worked at the security operations center with Scout back in my last job, we would see business email compromise, right? Like somebody gets access to somebody's Office 365 account, and then they can do major damage, or
That's right.
admin accounts anywhere, right? So there is like I just see it as such, like privileged access management is such an important emerging area. And I joined before anybody, most people, like 9 out of 10 people in the MSP space really, you know, talked about PAM or even, considered it as something that they would need, where now I think it's a lot more common. So that's why I joined, I guess. And the
Okay.
founders are great people too.
Yeah, you're working with some wonderful people, that's for sure. Well, Jimmy, what is the best way if we've got members listening right now and watching and they want to employ some of the tools that CyberQP offers? What's the best way that they can get started?
Sure, just go right to our website. There's an option. On our website, by the way, there's like 20 demo videos, so you can go through everything there. Like
Okay.
you can really study the product and get to know it and see if it's going to work for you. Pricing's on the website too, by the way.
Okay.
Before reaching out, and if you want to reach out, just book a demo. You can book in a time that works for you right on our website. You don't know like forums and hey, when you get back to me, they're going to call me 6 times. Like just pick a time that works for you. We'll get it set up and we'll show you product, how it works with the tools you use.
Well, it couldn't be easier than that. And I will just say my little spill. If you talk to someone at CyberQP, make sure that you let them know that you watched this demo with IT Business Owners Group. We're proud of our sponsors, and we like to see everybody succeed. So that's wonderful. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Any last little bits of nuggets you want to share?
No, I mean, love working with all the MSPs and IT Business Owners Group and everywhere else. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that, like, the cyber problem is getting worse and technology alone is not going to fix it. You need people out there who small businesses can call and get help. And the MSP is the only group of people that can do this at scale. So, I see
That's
MSPs
right.
as the solution to the cyber problem. And,
Well, we're
we're
out
just
there
out here
fighting the
trying to make,
fight.
yeah, we're just out here trying to make your fight a little easier.
Awesome. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. And it was a great office tour. I enjoyed seeing the office as well.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Yeah, I'll make
Awesome.
sure we do another office tour next time too.
Awesome. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much. Next time I'd like to get together and we'll do a demo. We'll
Sounds
stream
good.
the demo straight to the group and let everybody see what the program is as well. So
Sounds good.
awesome.
We'll get set up. Thanks,
I
Scott.
hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah. Take care.
See you. Bye-bye.